we have adopted certain positions that are very logic and very wise, and so many other things made or said by the media are just suggestions, and they are not real matters.
سلام وقت بخیر. با تأکید بر اینکه شما فرمودین تاکنون تصمیمی گرفته نشده برای
Some media outlets claim
و اینکه
that the American delegation went to Pakistan, and my question regarding this
که متاسفانه مدام مواضعش رو تغییر میده، خواسته هاش رو عوض میکنه، در سطح رسانه لفاظی های متناقضی انجام میده که قطعا کمکی نمیکنه به پیشبرد مذاکرات. واقعا در روندهای مذاکراتی ثابت قدم بودیم، چون میدونیم که چه مواردی مد نظرمون هست و چه مواردی رو نمیتونیم بپذیریم. بعضی از موارد خیلی سریع از ابتدا گفتیم برای ما قابل قبول نیست و اصرار زیاد بر روی اونها قرار نیست که تغییری در مواضع ما ایجاد بکنه. فکر میکنم مواضع بسیار معقول و منصفانه است. خیلی از مواردی که در رسانه ها گفته شده در مورد جزئیات موضوع، خب خودتون هم میتونید حدس بزنید گمان زنی است، قابل تایید نیست. سیاست روسی.
سلام وقت بخیر. با تأکید بر اینکه شما فرمودین تاکنون تصمیمی گرفته نشده برای مذاکرات بعدی و اینکه برخی از رسانه‌ها مدعی شدن که تیم آمریکایی راهی پاکستان شده به ریاست آقای بند. من می‌خواستم بپرسم اگر به این نتیجه برسیم که بخواد مذاکرات از سر گرفته بشه و یک توافق احتمالی بخواد صورت بگیره با توجه به رفتارهای نامتعادل آمریکا و سیاست‌های دونالد ترامپ، آیا میشه به این توافق و به امضای آمریکا پای این توافق اعتماد کرد؟
چیکار کرد؟ اعتماد. مبنای ما طبیعی است که در مذاکرات با آمریکا حتما اعتماد نیست. هیچ اعتمادی بین ایران و آمریکا وجود نداره به دلیل خلافکاری‌های طولانی مدت و مستمری که انجام دادن. ما بر اساس منافع و مصالحمون تصمیم میگیریم. در مورد هر تفاهم یا توافق احتمالی هم باید به نحوی عمل بکنیم که اهرم‌های خودمون، توانمندی‌های خودمون تضمین کننده اجرای اون تفاهم باشه. این که در مورد هیئت آمریکا اینها سفر کردن یا گفتن میخوان سفر کنن، خب بحثی مربوط به خودشون است، ولی ما همونطور که عرض کردم به این دلیل خیلی روشن که واقعا نشانه جدی نمیبینیم در مورد جدیت آمریکا. برعکس نشانه های مکرر و متعدد هست از اینکه هیچ جدیتی در آمریکا مشاهده نمیشه.
always accusing us. It is a part of the agreement related to the ceasefire in Lebanon. And during the recent few days, and despite it was decided to have a ceasefire on Monday, we have opened the Strait of Hormuz based on this matter, and the aim and the goal is to guarantee the safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. But we saw some reactions regarding the agreement of ceasefire in Lebanon. We have seen some reactions that are not honest, and they are not respecting the promises. Seems that America is not serious at all.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Some Western media outlets have claimed that you mocked the request of Kaja Kallas, the EU foreign policy chief, to respect international law and reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Claimed that you asked Kaja Kallas.
برخی رسانه‌های غربی ادعا کردند که شما درخواست خانم کایا کالاس مسئول سیاست خارجی اتحادیه اروپا
and you mocked the international law. We spoke seriously, we spoke wisely and logically. What have been mentioned by the European Foreign Affairs regarding the Strait of Hormuz, our reply, our answer is they did not pay attention to the international laws. They have violated international laws. And we said that you just accuse other countries because this accusation will be for your benefit, despite any facts. We, in this time and during the last 3 years, we saw the European Union's attitudes regarding the genocide in Palestine and regarding the war crimes committed by the Zionist entity and America in Iran. And we have seen the situation and stances regarding the Strait of Hormuz. This cannot only a space to enjoy what's going on in Iran, but there is also on the other side the high prices of energy because of what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. It is better for the European Union to adopt certain steps based on realities on the ground. We have seen an increase in the diplomatic moves in China and Moscow. How can you evaluate these diplomatic moves when it comes to the relationship? Being members in the Security Council, they have spoke before, and the only guarantor for peace is the Iranian people. This is number one reality. All countries have certain responsibilities regarding what they have pledged to, and there are the human rights, and there are the permanent seats in the Security Council who have big responsibilities regarding Russia and China and their responsible moves regarding the draft resolution that was completely against peace and reality. We thank Russia and we thank China for the move. We are on ongoing contact with China and Russia in this regard, and we believe that end of the day, everything must be for the sake of the international community. America and the Zionist entity are violating the international laws, and there are so many consequences that will follow. We need the international community to talk to them, and we need this to be seen in the Security Council, and all the international organizations and local organizations, regional organizations must have a role to play in this connection. Regarding the preconditions of the talks, is Iran, like other previous times, receiving or having certain preconditions to stop the maritime blockade? You can call it precondition, you can call them preconditions, but our stance is a logic one, based on the national interests of the Iranian people. We will never ask for any additional privileges. The national interests of the Iranians cannot be a victim of the bullying being made by other countries. And you can notice this. We are facing problems and we are facing criticism, but when there is a ceasefire, there must be a ceasefire. And we